Somebody once said that there are certain thoughts that have a greater weight, greater gravitas. And those are the ones that are coming out of the silence, out of the third level of speech. And there are a lot of voices in our head, the voice of desire, the voice of fear, the tearing thought voice, all these different voices. And we listen to them, they're here. But sometimes there's a deeper resonance. And if you can catch that, that comes from a deeper place. And that's the guideline. It's just that we don't distinguish those different inner voices. And there are a lot of ways they have a certain feeling to them, have a certain energetic to them. But
the energetic we learned last night, so much of the energetic is just conditioning, because that just comes up, like people said things and then we were doing the Shiva process and then that was an energetic, but really it wasn't really any kind of holy energetic, was it?
Well, it's very ordinary.
Very ordinary, right?
But the ordinary is holy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it's the energy is always shifting, and if you get in tune with it, it will always move you towards the right way. It's that we're out of touch with it.
Yeah, it will move you. Well, someone else said that, you were talking about gravitas, and someone else said, well, all thoughts are actually equal, and because they're all equally weightless, and so then where is that weight? It's just like what we believe, or our matrika attaches to one thought, right? And then that gives it the weight.
Well, I think some thoughts are connected to the ego. Some thoughts are connected to the divine.
So the ego is just the neediness, right? I mean, we don't really have to have an ego,
neediness,
do we? Or do we need an ego?
Insufficiency, yep.
So,
that's
okay.
Go ahead. Well, we use the idea of the G statement as an elevating thought. These are statements that have come from higher consciousness that you can use as ladders to get.
Okay, well, let's go through that a little bit, because we were talking about the A statements is like how I feel now, right?
That's right.
And then there's B statements. What would those be?
Which ones?
Is there B statements?
All right. The first statement is I feel sad, mad, scared, or glad.
Or this energy, I feel
emotion.
I'm turbulent here, or something like that.
Like, say I feel angry, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm angry, and then the story about my anger is because this person was mean to me yesterday, but really, that's just a story. Existentially, anger is here. So really, anger is here.
Well, existentially, just the feeling is here, and I'm going to call it anger, right?
That feeling, and
there's some kind of sensation,
anger,
and it's turbulent or agitated.
Right. Yes, it's turbulent. I feel agitation. I feel turbulent. That's right. That's the A statement.
And even turbulent just means I don't want it, right? That's just like it's just too...
Exactly. You see, you're starting to unpack this feeling. We take the story off it, and all these things, and we're just with it as an energy. And that's a very good method of meditation, is to just stay with it and be with it and go deeper into it. And eventually, of course, it will reveal deeper layers.
Yeah. Well, she was saying last night, our leader was saying that there's two ways to do it. One is with the story and one is without, just as an energy. The Shiva process.
That's right.
So that's the A statements, right? It's like, this is what's happening. I feel this in this chakra.
Okay.
And a B statement is like somebody else suggests that you're capable.
Yeah.
You are capable of overcoming this.
Yeah, positive, you could say a positive, possibly uplifting remark. Like, you're okay, I'm okay. You're a good person.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, basically it's first person, because they would say, I'm Richard and I'm a good person. And so then I would say, I'm Richard and I'm a good person, and see if that felt right or wrong, or if that gave me a feeling.
Great.
Yeah.
So these are uplifting, possibly uplifting. They're not always work.
Yeah, right. It was just a test.
For that on the personal level. Now the G statement are scriptural statements that come from above, like Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the self. I am Shiva. I am consciousness. Or Jesus loves me, from different traditions. These are the scriptural statements in all the scriptures that can uplift some people.
Yeah. Well, they all start out as an idea, right? And somehow they got to go to an experience.
Yeah.
And so then if they're an experience or a discovery, God, that's wonderful. That is grace.
Yeah.
But if they're just a thought, then they're just scripture. And then, we keep plugging away at it. But really, where's it going?
Well, if you take the idea, this world is an illusion. When Shankara had that idea, 1,000 years ago, it must have blown him away. He said, "Oh, this world's an illusion," and he must have been in that, put him in that state. So he began to teach, "This world's an illusion. This world's an illusion." And 3 of his disciples maybe said, "Wow," and they got in the state. But 5 others said, "It doesn't do anything for me."
500,000 others.
500,000 others. Sorry.
3 went good, you know.
Yeah, that's right. So the point I'm saying is that any G statement is good if it works. None of them are God, you know, because then you wouldn't need God. Then you just have the G statement. Here comes God. Everything is an illusion. There's God. It's that statement.
Yeah.
But it's only worked situationally. So you try another one, or you see, you know.
So somehow the core of the human life is a preconception. You know, we call it matrika, but it's a preconception that says, you know, it could be this way.
The limited human life.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
So the preconception is always looking for a change or to modify something or try, I can fix this. I can fix this. It's kind of like, you know, it could be neediness or whatever, but or it could be yearning too, because yearning, we think, oh, I can fix this yearning, right? But it's all a preconception because if there's no preconception, here we're perfect right now without a preconception.
From the past, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So then mostly all of us want like a discontinuity in our life because we don't want to go step by step. We want to blast, right? I mean, just look at the movies because they're all special effects and everything like that. And, you know, and it carries over to our spiritual life. Because we hear the story of these samadhis and these kundalinis experiences and this grace and all that stuff, and that's all the discontinuity, see? And we're all wishing, why can't I be there now? Right? And so then we want a discontinuity. We don't want to just go step by step. You don't even notice, right? Because I mean,
that's really
I don't even
interesting.
notice.
You got those books? I'll show you something in there.
Yeah, show me.
Yeah,
this one.
Thing. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking. I like it.
Okay. So anyhow, then isn't that an illness, like, and also a spiritual illness that we want to have a blast, you know? And then that takes us out of this life and makes this life into a suffering.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Are you finding it?
I'm going to find this thing.
So then that's what the story of enlightenment is always have this discontinuity, right? And that's what the holy yearning is this discontinuity, right?
I like what you're saying. I'm going to show you something.
So like I'm trying to say, like, it's all just matrika. Drop it.
Here, listen to this.
Forget about awakening. I'm going to listen.
This is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Fantastic meditative manual, the ancient one. It says, at the commencement and end of sneeze, in terror, in sorrow, in the condition of a deep sigh, or on the occasion of the flight from the battlefield, during keen curiosity, at the commencement or end of hunger, the state is like that of Brahma. So it's pointing out moments where it blows away that condition, creates that space you've just been talking about. In natural life, you don't do anything. When you sneeze.
Sneezing would be the best, but the battlefield, I guess, is the most potent one.
Yeah, but I love that, because if you ever watch yourself sneeze, you go, and in that moment, if you ever observe what state your mind is in, I started to observe it after reading that. And there's like white light in that moment. The mind stopped. So you can seize that if you wanted to. There's another one very similar. A person, when he's greatly exasperated or overjoyed, or is in impasse reflecting what to do or running for his life. So it's just
on the battlefield, running for his life.
Yeah.
Let's just show this book so that consciousness is everything.
That's my book on Kashmir Shaivism.
Yeah, this book is probably very unique. And, you need to get this one because this one they don't write them like that. Well, what about that, though? Because, ashrams are built around the yen and the yearning for a discontinuity in life and for enlightenment, right? And should ashrams say that, hey, forget it, and back off of that yearning?
See, you have a unique perspective. Most people wouldn't say a yearning for discontinuity of life.
they'd
They
say the
wouldn't say
holy
that.
yearning, right?
They look for the
And then
fulfillment.
God is calling you home in His grace, and they make up all kinds of stories about
Yeah, they want the story to be, the prince comes and the good fairy and,
and then
success.
you're brand new, a wand hits you on the head or something.
They don't want the story to be ruptured. They want it to come to a... But see, you have a unique point of view, and I think you have a real yogic point of view. That it's by constantly disrupting the story, you get in touch with it. And that's what inquiry does. That's what meditation does. You get yourself out of this narrative.
Yeah.
And, there's a narrative narrating your life in your brain all the time.
Yeah, it's a matrika that's going on all the time.
The narrator.
Yeah, right. And it's, of course, cultural and everything like that. So
you
then
love
it's just
matrika.
all around.
I can see you love it.
Love what?
You love matrika.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Fascinating. It's fascinating.
No, I just heard that word last night.
Fascinating. You know what else Shaivism says about it?
Tell me.
It says it's a double-bladed axe. It can be used for good or for bad. It's not evil in itself. Some yogis say all language is bad. No. Language can be used for good or bad. And so when you use it skillfully, it uplifts you and uplifts everyone. And when you don't use it skillfully, it throws you down.
That's kind of a mystery, because we get to a certain point in our life and we realize the story of our life is a burden.
Yeah.
And it's binding us.
Yeah.
But then we tell another story, and somehow that seems to relieve the first story. Now, how could one story be a burden and another one be a freedom?
Well,
I don't know about that.
It's all the emotion that is cathected in that story, isn't it?
So every story has emotion in it, right?
Absolutely. Every word has emotion.
Yeah.
We live passionately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet in your introduction, you said we live in two worlds simultaneously, and one is like what's happening outside, and one is our thoughts and our emotions. But it's the same, right?
Well,
is it really two worlds, or is it just one?
Well, there's essentially one, but it seems like two worlds. And the inner world's more important.
Right.
That's our experience of life.
Well, that's the author then of our outer world, because you say it's more important. It means it's the author, right?
Correct.
So that's when we talk about happiness for no good reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then if the inner world rules, let it rule with some wisdom, right?
Absolutely.